Welcome back to my podcast. Um, so thank you so much for sticking around. I very much appreciate it. You're awesome if you have made it to this episode. I just want to say thank you. So I want to basically talk about this episode. So, some things have happened over the last few weeks. I have been fighting with the doctors for months, trying to determine if my son, if his disease is considered autoimmune. Um, my son started ABA therapy, which is like every day for like 3 hours a day, um, where he goes to therapy. And ever since October, of 2023, he has just constantly been sick, like almost every 2 weeks. And here recently, he was sick again. He had pneumonia about a week ago or so. And about 2 weeks ago, he had pneumonia. So he had antibiotics. And so it was those amoxicillin, that pink stuff. And anyways, so we had gotten a chest x-ray and pretty much confirmed that it was pneumonia. I've been sick for about 5 or 6 weeks as well. I have also had my antibiotics as well, and I'm just not getting there. I'm not getting better. So anyways, this is about him. So I've been fighting the doctors on this, and anytime he gets sick, I go straight to his pediatricians, and we get checked out. I try not to go to the pediatrician, but I have to. Like, if it was a normal cold, you can treat it at home. But the thing is that Carter continuously gets sick. So I went to the pediatrician this last time. He had just got off antibiotics and was sick again. Like, immediately after his antibiotics, he was sick again. For like 24 to 36 hours, he was sick. Just a simple little virus, I'm assuming. But it caused him to be really chafed, diarrhea. We've gone to see a GI doctor. They say that his stool is very high in pH, very acidic. And I don't know what to do, because when you get diarrhea, you just have to give them bananas or apples or something to just firm up their diarrhea. um there's not much you can give a toddler when they're sick. So anyways, so we have done blood work for the last 2 months for our son, and blood work is coming back, and it is coming back abnormal. And I just want answers. When you Google it, it's far worse than it may be. It may actually be exactly what we're fearing. We really do think that he is autoimmune. The recent test results prove that there is a possibility that he has something going on, like an autoimmune issue. So I'm bracing the worst possible outcome that there is going to be when they tell me. But we're hoping that with these lab results, it will get him in sooner to allergy and immune. He can't see them until September. So we're hoping that with these test results that we got and his age, maybe we can get him in sooner. Um, and with me having the same disease, I don't know if that means I'm most likely subjected to these infections as well, just like my son. That maybe that's why I've always been sick. I've always had bronchitis, or I once had walking pneumonia. I get sick at a drop of a hat. But I mean, there's no explanation of why I'm so sick right now. 5 or 6 weeks, that's way too long to be sick, you know. Um, so anyways, waiting on the doctor to call us about that. Hopefully he'll call us today, explain the test results that I'm seeing currently. Um, but last week I got 2 phone calls. I got one from his regular OT, dropping him from their clinic because um, of cancellations. They just had enough of the cancellations, and they have a cancellation policy, and they just didn't want to wait around for him to get better, I guess. So they dropped him. And then a couple days later, we were about to the next day go to aquatherapy, and they called me, and they're like, because you've canceled a few times before and because of your history with the other OT office, we are going to have to discharge him at this time because he's been sick. Mind you, the last time they canceled on us. But besides the point, this area just doesn't have a lot of therapists and quality therapists at that. So it's very hard. So I have a feeling if we ever did get him back into therapies, we would have to look at him going to Virginia. Unless this autoimmune situation happens, and then we may have to see about finding home therapists. So, I don't know. I'm so torn, and it's like I'm trying to protect my son. I'm trying to advocate for him. I'm trying to find answers. I may not like the answers, but I'm just trying to find answers. And I know that this is the struggle, with having a rare disease child. The lack of communication, the lack of hurriedness. Does that make sense? Like I feel like I want to rush these doctors in a way, like find out what's going on now with my kid. And I know I can't be doing that, and I'm going to make people mad and upset, but this is my son you're talking about, I don't want to have him in public if it's going to harm him, I need to do more to protect him, I guess. And I think on my next podcast I'm gonna share with you an article that I found, and it's so it touched me because it's exactly how I'm feeling. So anyways, so we are just dealing with these cancellations, and then I have to get clearance from his pediatrician so that his rehab doctor can put him back into these OT therapies that he had. So we have to wait on these results, see what they say. We may end up having to just nix his therapies for right now because he doesn't qualify for any assistance until he's 3 years old. It's stupid. It's straight stupid. They make it so hard. They really make it so hard. And I'm probably jumping on my thoughts too. So we'll see after the next, podcast that I update you on what the results of the test results were, and what the doctors say, and what our next steps will be. So anyway, so let's get to what's going on this week. So this week we are going to Washington, D.C. We will be going to Children's National in Washington, D.C. We will be going to the White Matter Clinic, aka the Neuroscience Center of Children's National. We will be seeing a doctor by the name of Dr. Jamie Fraser and a bunch of other doctors that are on his team. He sees probably about 5 or 6 doctors in one day. And the last few times we've gone, they have stated that they're going to do blood work and see if they will have blood work on hand so that if Boston, Massachusetts needs his blood work, they have blood work on hand. They're supposed to have everything in line for us when we get there, supposedly. We'll see what happens. But the last few times, they've said that they're going to do blood work and nothing has happened. They told me that the time before last, they said, we will reach out to you. And I met the girl. We met the girl. We'll reach out to you via Zoom and we will talk about it and you'll sign papers. The very next time we went, after I'd been emailing them, asking them about it, the genetics doctor was very confused. How are you confused? You're the one that set up the blood work. That makes no sense to me. Anyway, so she also told me I need to stop micromanaging, which I will not. I will never stop micromanaging my doctors. Like, you may think it's called micromanaging. I feel like it's me advocating for my son and putting a fire under your butt so that you can do stuff for my son. I understand you have 1,000 kids that you're probably looking into, but this is my kid and I'm going to fight for my kid. And that's just my logic. And I want answers. Like, if I'm not emailing you like every day, then like, why can't you respond to my email within a week, within 3 days or something like that? Like, why do I never get a response? So anyway, this last time that we went, they said that they wound up firing that last research assistant. And they're going to rehire somebody. And they got someone rehired. And they are going to be training her. And that if she did not reach out by a certain time, to reach out to them. And so I did. About a month ago, or a month or two ago, whenever I asked about Make-A-Wish. I asked about like the blood work. And the nurse practitioner was like, we will be reaching out to you closer to your date of your appointment. Well, our date of the appointment is on Friday. And we have not heard from them at all. So I'm not going to be happy Friday if it comes up that they're not going to do blood work. Because they have nothing on file other than like his therapies. So I'm just, I'm so stressed. Like, they do all rare disease parents have to go through this with their team? Like, I don't know. I'm trying to stay positive as possible, but like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, why tell me you're going to do research for my son and everything. Supposedly this time, we will find out how much we're going to have to raise. The only problem is that we have insurance currently, but it may last us another month. It may last us a little bit longer. I'm not sure. My husband's supposed to get like a packet in the mail about his insurance. So I got to figure out what we're going to do about that. So I don't know. We may have to look into marketplace insurance or something for Carter. But he does still have Medicaid. So we'll see what Medicaid will pay for as well. Not sure. We'll see. We may end up having to raise a bunch of money. If so, Carter is going to be selling lemonade for all you locals. Just saying. So I don't know what to do, to be honest. I don't know what we're going to do. Me and my husband have to decide what we're going to do if they decide that they are not going to do blood work this time after they've told us 2 other times that they are going to do blood work. And that if they don't do blood work this time. Now, maybe they'll accept the blood work that we have now, but they said that they wanted to have blood work on file, like samples of blood on file, on ice, for Boston, Massachusetts. Because they're working with Boston, Massachusetts, who is working on a cure. Hopefully, they will have updates on what is going on up there in Boston on the cure or medication or whatever they're deciding on doing. Hopefully, we'll get some good updates. Hopefully, it's not going to be a waste of a trip because I'm not going to lie. Like, I have been so close to seeing if there's somewhere else we can go, but I don't know where else to go. Like, I'm kind of stuck, because they know about our son's disease, supposedly. The next people that know about our son's disease is in Boston, Massachusetts. So I can't afford to go to Boston, Massachusetts. I just can't. So what am I supposed to do? I'm stuck with these people, I feel like. But I am going to see how this weekend goes. And then on Monday, my mother and I will be traveling to Winston-Salem, North Carolina. We are going to be seeing a doctor who is a neurogenetics doctor. She is my son's first neurogenetic doctor that he saw while he was in DC the first time. So she's very familiar with my son's case. She met us back then too. So I will let her know how DC is going. And we're going to focus on my part of the disease and see where she wants to go for that. Because I'm the only living UBTF patient that is an adult that's talking. So I don't know what she will want us to do. It'll be interesting to know if I'm also autoimmune. So maybe she'll run tests on me too. But my mom is going to be coming with me because I feel like she needs to see a neuro because about 2 years ago, I want to say, she was admitted to the hospital and she was having like these crazy episodes. And they went to do we forced them to do an MRI on her. She'd never had an MRI. They came back saying that she had white matter disease. And that there was like crystallization on the back of her skull or something from diabetes. And it might very well be. I don't know. So we're going to go and talk to them about that. See if she can get a genetics testing done. To see if maybe there is a pattern of hereditary of this UBTF gene. Maybe something in her caused it to form in me, which caused it to pass on to Carter. Or was it just a freak of nature that it happened that it formed inside of me and or something like my sister went and got tested but she got tested along with her kid. Of course, her kid doesn't have it, so she thinks she doesn't have it. And she may very well not have it, but it's worth investigating if it can save my son who has it like 100%. And that's what I told my mom. Like, you need to do this not just for yourself. You need to do this for your grandson. So we're going to go up there. We're going to get tested and everything. So then it's going to be a busy couple days because we're coming back from DC Sunday. We have to early Sunday because I have to be back. We have to be back in time for Carter to get well rested because he's only going to have like a day to rest before he's got to have an MRI on Tuesday. Why is he going to get an MRI on Tuesday? So Carter has this thing called a Chiari malformation 1. And last year he got an MRI. It stated that it was 8 millimeters. So he is monitoring it annually. Once a year, he will do an MRI unless something comes up and he needs to do more MRIs or something like that. So, we're going to be doing another MRI on Tuesday to check on his Chiari. This is what Northern wants to do. It's so then we'll check on the swelling around his optic nerve because in the last MRI showed like swelling in his optic nerve and the ophthalmologist was like really concerned about it and wants to keep that on monitorization as well. So it kind of helps that we're doing the MRI on Tuesday, so that way we can see if there's any difference between the last MRI to this MRI. But anyway, so Sunday we get back from DC. Monday me and my mom go to Winston-Salem. Tuesday we have to go to an MRI for my son. And he will also not be able to go to his physical therapy. I don't think he'll be able to. He might be able to. It depends on if he's had a long day or not. We'll see how it goes. I mean, it's not till 12:30 anyways, and then his MRI is like at 6 o'clock in the morning. So it'll be a long day, but I know he loves his physical therapist. So if he's okay to go that day, I think we will go. I'm not gonna lie, I know that he did really well with his first MRI, but like this second MRI, I'm still very nervous. I'm gonna be nervous probably anytime my son has to go under anesthesia, because I've heard that the anesthesia doesn't do well with their brain. Though not with like with any kid, but like with my kid's disease, with that neurological white matter disease. Now, I do have it, and I've done okay on anesthesia. So, he should be fine. I'm going to trust that the doctors know what they're doing and give it to God, you know? Like, I don't know if you're a religious person or not, but it's all I can do is just give it to God and pray that he will come out of this and that there was nothing that will warrant surgery, you know, because with the Chiari malformation, basically it's like your brain sits in your your brainstem thing. It sits in your spine like a little too much or something, and it can cause like dizziness and headaches and things like that. So, yeah. So I don't know. I'm just it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot. But the positive, though, is that today was my husband's first day where, like, he didn't have to worry about getting drafted for work. So he is relaxing. And then we've got to sit down and talk about how we're going to prioritize things of getting things done for the next, like, month or two, so that way we can not have to worry about getting the house together, kind of thing. So we're going to work on getting the house together and everything. So, because this room that I'm in, that I'm doing this podcast, is a hot mess. And it's mostly because my husband does Pokemon. So he's got to come in here and he's got to clean things up. And he's got to organize it. And hopefully he can start doing it within the next week or two. That is one of my priorities for him. And maybe he can do it while Carter is sleeping, or I can watch Carter, kind of thing, or he can do it while Carter is at therapy, you know. So I'm very excited for this new journey, because now me and Chris can finally focus on our social medias and see if we can get anywhere with this. I'm using this podcast to, like, pretty much just explain things of, like, what we're going through, thoughts, feelings, you know, a way to just talk about it. And it's like an outlet, you know, because I don't know if TikTok's going to be around for a while. So I want to have my podcast, you know. So, anyways, I know this is a short little podcast. It's almost a 30-minute podcast, and that's fine. It doesn't have to be a 30-minute podcast. I just wanted to get everything out. I have ADD, so I do apologize if you weren't really able to, like, follow. But I'm hoping this week will go smooth. So we will see. My son was able to go to ABA today. Hopefully he doesn't get sick between now and DC. And I just gotta wait and see what the doctor says about these blood results. Hopefully, I'll hear from his doctor by the end of the day. So, I am going to be getting off here soon, and I'm going to be making some TikTok videos. And also, I've started on my TikTok, I've started doing a bunch of Monopoly stuff. So I play Monopoly, and I actually have perks for my subscribers. So if you play Monopoly Go, hit me up, let me know. Um, Anyways, definitely check out my social medias. You can find me on Facebook, Katie M. Canning. You can find me on Instagram under Katie 2931. That is my tag. And then on TikTok, it's KITYKAT35. That is my TikTok. And so yeah, I'm gonna start like probably merging my videos over that way. I also would like to try my YouTube as well. I have is Canning Family Values, is what the name of the YouTube is called. But I probably need to upload more videos. I haven't uploaded a lot of videos there in a while, so I need to do that because I've heard YouTube is the way. So, anyways, I guess we will talk to you later. I appreciate you listening to my rants, rambles, tuning in. It means a lot. Hopefully, you will learn something. Um, I think I am going to read this article real quick at the end of this. Something that I found the other day online, and it just, the thoughts are the same. So this is, let's see, things, I can make this into a podcast, so I won't do that one. So this is word for word someone else's article, so I did not write this, but basically it says, it is every parent's natural instinct to protect our children. That is why we take vitamins during pregnancy, stay away from substances that could harm them as they grow inside us, and choose everything they consume with care. So to find out that your child has a rare condition, one that is often without any treatment or cure, is devastating beyond words. It was on the day of my son's diagnosis that I experienced, for the first time, the real sensations behind the phrase of your world falling apart. All the dreams and hopes I had for my child, the plans, the goals, the milestones fell to pieces before my eyes as I sat in that doctor's office. One of my first and overwhelming emotions was that I failed. I'm his mother. I was supposed to keep him safe, but I had not seen this coming. I had not been able to save him from this monster, because the monster I was looking out for was outside the door when the one that snuck into our lives lurked in his DNA, unseen. There is no way to sugarcoat the reality of being a rare disease mom, parent. It is hard, stressful, often heartbreaking. People often tell us that we are heroes, that they do not know how we do it. They tell us that they cannot imagine being in our shoes. When you are walking this path, almost none of it feels very heroic. So such words offer little comfort. There are times when I think that this is not what I signed up for. Then I remembered I wanted to be a parent. There is no multiple choice questionnaire allowing you to specify what type of parent you get to be. And so some of us come out the other end as rare disease parents. But parenting in our shoes comes with rewards that only we can see. The smile of our child, the small gesture of a recognition, a cuddle when they are peaceful, a bite of food they would not normally eat, a hug, a touch, a kiss. Our benchmark for what matters is much lower than that of other parents. And even if you are the most positive person in the world, it goes without saying that being a rare disease parent takes its toll. Existing under a constant level of varying degrees of stress is exhausting. Juggling so much information, deciding on what course of therapy to pursue, and trying to make a decision in a field where there are still major gaps of knowledge feels like a game of chess in the dark with your hands tied behind your back as someone soundlessly moves the entire chessboard around the room. You find that one thing works only for another unforeseen problem to pop up. Like Alice in Wonderland, drinking a potion to shrink down and pass through a tiny locked door, only to discover that she left the key out of reach and is now too small to reach the key and unlock the door in the first place. That's just a snippet of this article. And it's just, God, it's so overwhelming. And it also, at the same time, it makes you feel like you're not alone in your thoughts, because this is what everyone else thinks too that's going through it. The only problem is that, like, in my area, I don't have that many. I only have maybe 2 moms that I am friends with that have rare disease kids. So we can connect on so many levels that none of my other moms can connect with me. They might feel sad and sorry and send me like their well wishes and everything, but they really truly don't understand the fear behind the possibility of losing your kid if there's no cure. They don't know, like, unless they're like, even like a special needs mom might be close, you know, as far as like, autism or something, but nothing like a terminal disease parent can understand. Granted, my son is still here. I am so thankful that he's here. But we've learned with disease, not everything is hunky-dory and gonna be by the books. Things are gonna happen. And unfortunate things too. Good things, bad things. We just don't know what's gonna happen. And we just have to take it day by day, hour by hour, and do the best that we can. And hope for the best as well. And hope that there are people that will be there along your journey to support you. You're welcome to reach out to me and we can cry together, to be honest, if you want. I mean, like, obviously, I'm on my podcast crying right now, so, and I know that I have friends that just don't know what to say or how to help. So there is another thing that I posted yesterday that may give a little insight. Things rare disease moms want you to know. 1, don't minimize a person's illness just because they don't look sick or that they may grow out of it. That is the worst thing you could ever say to somebody with a rare disease kid. I mean, because that's minimalizing the situation. because you don't know, and my son doesn't look sick, quote unquote. Um, Dealing with a rare disease is frightening, burdensome, and isolating. And being online can be some comfort to us. Listen to us. Offer words of kindness, encouragement, or praise. We don't get enough of that. I mean, moms in general don't get enough of that, much less rare disease moms, because we have to give up our whole life to be there for our kids. Some of us have to give up our jobs and have no financial income and are on wait lists upon wait lists, and are like almost homeless with a kid that's sick. Um, Also, give kids that have a rare disease a chance to be understood. Educate others and make a difference. Don't count my child out because he's got a rare disease. You're not going to catch it. Your kid's not going to catch his disease. It's genetics. I have learned that there are people that don't want to have their kids around special needs kids because they don't feel like they can benefit their kid. And I get that. But they can be beneficial in so many ways. And it can warm your heart how they can pick up on their differences. Um, and it's just sad that my child is isolated because he doesn't got any parent that would like for their kid to be around him because they don't feel like he'll benefit their kid. When you're wrong. You're wrong. My kid can benefit your kid in more ways than one. And then the other thing would be offer to help with little things. I'm not gonna lie, like sometimes I just don't feel like cooking. It like I know that's so silly, but like I just get so bombarded by like all the therapies I've had to take my son to that sometimes I don't even eat. I make sure he eats, but cooking an actual meal at home is a lot. But now with my husband being home, maybe I can start doing some more meal stuff and learning meal prep and stuff like that. So, but just little things, um, and it doesn't have to be monetary either. Even just like right now, telling someone about my podcast, that would be good too. That's a share. Um, if you see me on social media, like and interact or share, like that can help out a lot too. So, anyways, I'm going to leave it on that. And I hope that you have a great day. And hope I didn't bombard you with a bunch. I was going to have it a short podcast, but then I wound up adding those extra things in. So, hopefully you are still listening. All right, well, I hope you have a great day. Thank you for listening. And until next time.